Alright, hello. My name is Frank Trapani, and I will be showing you how to install Windows 7 on a virtual machine. And we will be using VirtualBox. Let's begin. So, to start it off, we gotta create new. So we got a name and the operating system. Since we're going to be using Windows 7, let's just simply call this Windows 7. Make sure the type is right and the version is right for the specific OS you are supposed to be using. Now over here we're supposed to select the virtual RAM. Well, not really virtual, just more specifically, how much RAM are we going to be using for the virtual machine. The recommended size is 2048 megabytes, so we will be sticking to that for now. Now the hard disk. So basically, we're going to be setting up the hard drive for the virtual machine, and we have a choice to either not add a virtual hard disk, or we could create one, or using existing one. So we're going to be creating one, and we're going to be choosing the file type for it. So for this, we would want VDI, VirtualBox Disk Image. Next one, we have the storage on the physical disk. We want to use dynamically allocated, because for people that do not have a lot of memory, dynamically allocated is when, if you say, for example, downloaded something on the virtual machine, then that's when the space will be taken up for that. Otherwise, it would be fixed. Otherwise, it would be fixed and everything's all taken care of. But it's better off to use dynamically allocated. That way, if you download something, it's going to take the space. If not, otherwise, it will only just take as much space as it needs to. And this is the same thing, the file location, the size. It's going to be using 32 gigs. And there we go. Now it's set. Now all we have to do is start it. Now it's going to be basically asking for the ISO. To make it easy, we're going to be going into the desktop for this, which is already right here. Windows 7 Home Premium. Now we start it. Now VirtualBox is starting, and now Windows is loading the files. It can be pretty quick to start it up. Alright, now this is starting up like it normally would, as if you were doing it on a real machine. Language installs, English, time and currency, English, and US. Now we just gotta install now. Here is the license and terms. Some people read it, I don't. But it's always a good idea to see what exactly you're signing for. So there's nothing wrong with like a little glancing once in a while. Here we will be upgrading to a newer system of Windows, but since this is a fresh install of Windows for this virtual machine, we won't be needing that. We will be using Custom Advanced, which is for a fresh new copy. Here's the allocated space we made before, 32 gigs. We'll be clicking next for this now. And now here comes the part where the whole system, where it starts installing Windows. This would normally take a while, so for the sake of time, I will be cutting it off here and come back to it when it starts up again. So should be right now the time is 7:18. Let's see how long it's gonna take. Alright, now we're back. The Windows files were installed along with the features and the updates, and now it is completing the installation. which could take about a few minutes. And now this comes to the part where Windows will have to restart. So in the case for this virtual machine, all it's going to be doing is simply turn off, but turn back on. Just like that. Now Windows starting, just like any other computer. And now it's updating the registry settings. So we're almost done. Sorry about that, a little bit of stretching. Now it's just completing the installation. It may or may not have to restart again, but if it does, then that would be it. So yeah, it's going to like take its time restarting. Like it says, setup will continue after several retries. And now we're finally towards the end, where it's setting up the computer for the first time use. And it's where it's checking like the video performance along with other settings, just to make sure everything is correct. Then we will be making, well, the computer username. So, to keep it simple, I will be using my name, Frank, computer name, PC. We'll be putting a password in. Nothing wrong with a little extra safety. Now it's going to be asking for your Windows product key. Now we're just going to simply just skip this for now. And we're just going to have the computer ask for updates later. Just to make things a lot more smoother. Eastern Time. Now, for the computer current location, we will be choosing home. This is merely just for other devices that's normally connected to a specific network. So if you were like out at Starbucks, you would use something that's like a public network. If you were at work, it would be more work network. That's like, you know, you recognize them. For the sake, we'll be just using the home network. It's gonna take some time, but we're almost done. And now Windows 7 Home Premium is finalizing my settings. Now if you followed these steps correctly, then you will have your Windows 7 working as it should. And here we are, Windows 7. Just like how you remembered it. You could even check the system inside of it. Here we go, right from before. We had 32 gigs of space before, and now we have this much space. We could even go on Internet Explorer to simply browse around. And yeah, that's it. As long as you follow the steps correctly, you make sure you use the right kind of RAM space, which is 2048 megabytes, which is, you know, yeah. Anyway, last thing, when you want to close it, you could just simply just close it out. And you'll be given an option to save the machine state, which will basically just save the state of where it's at. Then when you hop back in, you'll be right there. You can send the shutdown signal, or you can kind of like do it remotely, basically. Or you could just simply power off the machine, which we'll be doing. And that's it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it made you learn something new. And yeah, I hope you all have a nice day.